I think the thing that stood out the most was I remember we have a great relationship with the NBA. We was always doing their stay in school NBA All-Star weekends. And I remember it was when Shaq first did his first All-Star weekend. I'm not as knowledgeable of the players as he or my son. And my son was little at the time. So I brought having a father and son, bringing my son out to one of the weekends we did. So I'm making sure they're laced in the room. My father was like, "Oh, you really got me out here to be babysitting, to do anything with my son." And I'm calling to check on them. And they're like, I said, "How's everything going?" "Well, everything's good. Son's on the floor, playing with his new friend, in games and stuff." I'm like, "What friend?" I'm kind of go like, "Who's in your room?" Whatever. Go in there and like a big kid, which he is, Shaq, and my son is playing video games, just chilling. And my father, and it's like, this is what it's all about. This is just to be able to do those things, and for our baby mamas as well, all of that as well. Hey, yeah, you gotta look out, man. I mean,
no, and then
they hold it down.
And then the funny part is how when they get into that, I know as far as my father was concerned, now he's getting into it. He sees we're having success, I'm having success. So now he wants to get into it and, yes, man, me see your boy on the TV, man. Yes, Chunky D, I see your boy, Chunky D. I said, don't you mean Heavy D? Heavy D, Chunky D, and my big boy.
Rest in peace, Heavy.
I remember one time when his father had complained to me and another good friend of ours, Romeo, that he felt like stardom had gone to his head because he kept trying to contact him and he wasn't getting any response. And we're like, "Yo, you taking it too far now. You're not responding to your father." And this was during the time I think he was always wearing the wafers, like even at nighttime, he's wearing dark glasses. So we're hanging out with his father in the street, talking. His father's like, "I don't understand him. He won't return my calls." And we're like, boo, this ain't no good. Finally, kid rolls up and we make them deal with the issue. He's like, "Yo, why aren't you returning your father's call?" When do you call? When do you call? So back then it was 1-800-SKY page.
Sky page, Skytel.
It was one of those. Come to find out the whole time his father was dialing 1-800-SKY King.
That's my dialing number, 1-800-SKY King. And the boy don't want to answer me.
So come about all this time, they're not having any communication because he's dialing the wrong thing and his son's not getting back to him. But I know we did a lot of editing fast forward. Where we last left off was being Fresh Force.
Yes. Because I definitely wanted.
Who came up with the name
and I'll say this. This was our path.
Yeah.
You gotta make bad records before you make good records, or you gotta make records that people don't know or that aren't successful before you hit your stride and you learn about what it is to make a record and what the dynamics of the group are. So some of our early records was like we're just trying to get on,
right?
So we're making records that are just taking advantage of what's going out there. We're trying to latch on to what's going out there.
Trend.
So my Adidas is hot. My Adidas, right? So we made a record called She's a Skeezer.
Yeah, parody, what you call parody.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't necessarily agree with his take on that. I think those records did what those records needed to do. And if they were that bad, I don't think anybody beat how many times we performed at the Latin Quarter. Based off of those, we had one called All Hail the Drum, She's a Skeezer. Falco had a record called Rock Me Amadeus. We did a parody called Rock Me.
Yeah.
We also did, we wrote one for some girls called If Girls Rule the World, which was a comeback on Curtis Blow's If I Rule the World.
Right.
Yeah.
I get what he's saying, but I saw what those things did. Yes, they did help us hone our craft and our skills and all of that. But we performed. We did a lot of shows off those roads. We did a lot of Latin Quarter again.
No,
We
that's
got
true,
to the
but-
point where we'd be like, Latin Quarter once is back again. We did a lot of stuff in Ohio, believe it or not. A lot of stuff in Philly. Philly doesn't get the props that they deserve for hip hop, period. Because New York didn't put hip hop on regular rotation before Philly did. And a big shout out to Lady B.
That's interesting.
You know what I'm saying?
Lady B,
Lady B,
JoJo,
yes,
Colby
all
Cole,
of them.
all them Philly dudes. They was playing hip hop during the day.
Yeah, regular rotation.
I think before some of
They
these
were.
New York DJs was doing it.
And on
Really?
prime time, because with Mr. Magic, God
Yeah,
bless
not
his
just
soul,
on the weekend or whatever
he was
like
on WHBI. What was it? The thing
He was on HBI before he got to BLS.
BLS. So we were doing a lot of shows there. It would be so interesting because there was a popular place in Queens. My man would know. What's the diners? Diners. The Deerhead,
Deerhead, the
Buccaneer, and what's the other one? It was three of them. Well, the Buccaneer was the spot for whatever reason. Kane would have a gig somewhere in far off Jersey or Philly. We would have one in Philly. Bismarck, all of this. This diner would be where everybody would come. Eric B. Rocket. No matter what time we all finished, coming in late at night, 1, 2, 3 o'clock, and really the 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, we'd all meet there unintentionally to enjoy our food. Cheeseburgers deluxe. Back then, we was able to afford surf and turfs and shrimp scampi and all of that kind of stuff. But that was very interesting that we would all end up coming from shows from other places outside of New York.
So I think we
Has Kid and Play been born yet?
No, that would be
not yet.
That
wasn't. And that was to me that was the game changer.
Right.
Because by this time, we're out here. We're on Sutra Records, which is the same label that Fat Boys was on and whatnot. And we're doing our thing. We're making a little bit of noise, but certainly not anything really loud. But at the same time, this is when Herbie is blowing up, Dana Dane, Salt and Pepper, and these and Herbie's they was in the same group. We all still know each other, we felt like they had kind of passed us by type stuff. But we still had a desire to kind of work with each other. And so I think at that point, the Sutra deal went left because it was just like we weren't making enough noise.
Right.
And so we coming back to our neighborhood and Herbie's like, well, what y'all want to do? He said, y'all gonna do something together. Maybe we gotta rebrand.
Well, he didn't have to reinvent the wheel as well. We had a nice little momentum going in the tri-state.
Yeah, a little bit. At least we know.
Like
At least we knew our way around the recording studio.
Right.
So at that point, Kid, Cool Out, and Playboy became Kid and Play.
Whose idea was that?
Yeah, the shorten.
It was both ideas.
Well,
I think,
when you become
as I
my full name is Christopher. If you're real
Right,
familiar
right,
with being
yeah.
close, you're going to call me Chris for short. It's got the same name. So we already had that name because we're all close with each other. And then guys ain't really interested in dubbing another guy Playboy. So he's going to call him Play for
Right,
short.
yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Kid, Cool Out, just call him Kid for short. We all know our full joints, but we're all extremely close to each other. So it really just evolved. It was just organic to just like, Kid and Play.
And
I didn't know why my name was last, but they tricked me in. Well, more things rhyme with play. And I'm like, yeah, okay.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
Playing
And I
Kid.
think we were taking a page.
Playing Kid,
Playing Kid.
Yeah, only because y'all been bamboozled and brainwashed into knowing it.
After all these years, it's still a problem. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Wait, but I think we also took a page out of the like Salt and Pepper just flows so easy. Salt and Pepper, Kid and Play. And sometimes when you hear it's like anything. It's like an idea about a concept or idea about a record. When you hear it, you know it. Kid and Play. Yeah, that's it.
This hot for trapper turn smack rapper. Only smack rapper that you know is smack rappers. Got bars I can hang with the backpackers. Trap star, I don't hang with the backpackers. I'm in the hood with the work you heard. Making fiends leave earth you heard. Got your baby mama thirst you heard. Feel the flow, nigga, throw it in reverse. This the wave you need to surf you heard.